Mixing horns with trap, munching hornets dance. Snapback caps at rallies, ready. Spirits never lack. Thoughts and pride with style in the swag sack. In the quad, we ain't never gonna stop. In the quad, we always on top. In the quad, feel the music drop. In the quad, we run deep.
It is Monday, November 18th. And man, oh man, you all are tuned into a brand new episode of In the Quad with Nick Eden. I am your host, Nick Eden, and we are back with another great show. It is fully packed. And as you all know, for those who watched last week, the format on Monday is a little bit different. So we're going to talk about all the things that happened last week. And we're going to be doing it via our HBCU Twitter review. Now, let's get a couple things straight really quickly. Fam topics will not be a part of today's show. Quite frankly, it's way too much to cover. At the end of the show, when I give my final thoughts, I am, and just let me go ahead and put it out there now, I am going to be talking about if I will be continuing the calendar, if I'll be continuing in the quad, well, not in the quad, definitely continuing in the quad, if I'll be continuing HBCU Twitter Weekly for a myriad of reasons. But, but for right now, we're going to be talking about the calendar, all the things that happened this week. And man, it was a packed one. Goodness gracious. So I don't see any reason to delay anymore. Let's get right into it. And y'all, as you can see, this was a very, very packed week. Very packed week. Listen, I don't see any reason why we gotta. You know what? Matter of fact, I'm just gonna change up my name real quick here. Let's get into it, y'all. All right. So on Sunday, now, if you are not on Twitter, you wouldn't know this, but shout out to Dre. Dre does what I feel is one of the most hilarious HBCU football rankings every week, right? And as you can see, it is very much so satire. Like, he's got Florida State on there. He's got Fisk. He's got Morris Brown. Morris Brown ain't had a football team in 22 years. Like, he's got all these things. And everybody who watches it generally knows that it's satire. Normally, I would put this person's name up. But this is one of the few times that someone has actually retracted something that they said. So I'm not going to put her name up there, but this po baby, who, if I'm not mistaken, is an HBCU alum, absolutely took this list serious and not only proceeded to argue with Dre about the list, she then proceeded to argue with every single person in his mentions about it, not understanding, one, why, I think the argument was why Florida A&M wasn't number one. Why was A&T number one? Like, this young lady, again, was very much so passionate about this, and as to why Florida A&M wasn't the one. And finally, I think it just clicked that, oh snap, this is satire. To which she then tweeted, "I am slow as." I'm not gonna say you slow, baby girl, but my goodness, I need you to figure it out. So Sunday was definitely one for the books, especially coming off of a jam-packed Saturday, and so I did want to just say shout out to that young lady for retracting that statement, and just kind of be like, okay, you got me. It is what it is. All right, now. On Sunday, for those who don't tune in, HBCU Nightly Network. Shout out to the folks over there, friends of the show. Josh, Erica, BJ, Dave, Tandia, Markham, Herb. Am I forgetting anybody? I don't think I'm forgetting anybody. Everybody was over there doing their thing, right? So they do their show every Sunday. Well, a clip from the show went viral on Monday, and it was one of everybody's favorite Morgan State Bears, Markham Banks. Shout out to Banks, choosing absolute and total violence in a clip that has since gone viral. Now, before I play this clip, just in case you have not seen it, let me say, Banks was absolutely trolling. This is a part of their ongoing beef between he and Erica and Howard Morgan State rivalry. Some people say it's not a rivalry, whatever the case may be. And because we take everything so seriously here, let me just say again, he was just trolling. Markham was actually a really strong supporter of VP Kamala Harris. So just had to say that before I play this clip.
Oh, baby. Hold on. Evidently, we all wish Madam Vice President won on Tuesday night, right? But the problem why she lost is because she was a bison. That's why. And maybe she was a Morgan State grad, she would have won. How about that? How about that? Because y'all used to being losers. That's why. Always was, always will be. Yeah,
we're going to commercial break. We're going to commercial break. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't even get it.
Sitting up.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna play it one more time because when I tell you that was classic, I gotta play it one more time.
Oh, baby. Hold on. Evidently, we all wish Madam Vice President won on Tuesday night, right? But the problem why she lost is because she was a bison. That's why. And maybe she was a Morgan State grad, she would have won. How about that? How about that? Because y'all used to being losers. That's why. Always was, always will be. Yeah,
we're going to commercial break. We're going to commercial break. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Yeah. Like, you didn't even get it.
Sitting up.
Y'all, let me just go ahead and say it's the faces for me. It's the faces. Erica's reaction, Josh's reaction. Herb knew what was happening. Herb and BJ, they were just like, yo, I know what's going to happen here. Tandia, Erica, and Josh, y'all's reactions. And I said I was going to get y'all asses on the calendar. I said it and I meant it. And it seems like at this point, HBCU Nightly is going viral seemingly every other week. So shout out to the HBCU Nightly Network. Shout out to HBCU Nightly. I'm telling you now, HBCU Nightly is probably one of, if not the most entertaining shows in this HBCU podcasting space. So phenomenal growth. You all are definitely doing your thing, but and it's got just the right amount of information and infotainment because they definitely did their thing. I'll play it one more time. I ain't gonna
baby. Hold on. Evidently, we all wish Madam Vice President won on Tuesday night, right? But the problem why she lost is because she was a bison. That's why. And maybe she was a Morgan State grad, she would have won. How about that? How about that? Because y'all used to being losers. That's why. Always was, always will be. Yeah,
we're going to commercial break. We're going to commercial break. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Yeah. Like, you didn't even get it.
Sitting up.
I'm gonna put that on the shirt. I'm just letting y'all know right now. I'm gonna put that on the shirt. There's no way around it. I'm putting it on the shirt and I'm gonna wear it somewhere. I'm not gonna be at the Celebration Bowl this year, but I'm gonna wear it somewhere where we're all in proximity to each other. So again, shout out to HBCU Nightly. Y'all head over to hbcunightly.com or head over to HBCU Nightly on YouTube. Check out the show. It's absolutely hilarious. And I can absolutely tell you there's going to be some clips from last night's show that are going to be on the calendar again this week. So yeah, there we go with that. Y'all, we are going to take our first commercial break. When we get back, we will be back with more from the calendar this week. It is In the Quad with Nick Eden.
Technology lets you monitor your pet when you're not at home. But to monitor threats to your hybrid workforce wherever they are, you need more than technology. You need CDW, who gets to know your business and can design and deploy custom solutions with pre-configured HP notebooks with HP Wolf Security. AI-enabled threat detection and remote management protect your endpoints 24/7, giving your defenses some real teeth.
Bummer.
HP makes always-on remote security possible. CDW makes it powerful.
This is not just delivery. This is knowing even superheroes can use a sidekick. Walgreens.
When I push, I feel good. When I push, I feel good. When I push. You better move. I feel good. When I pull, I feel good. When I push. When I push, I feel good. When I pull, I feel good. When I push. When I push. When I push, I feel good. When I pull, I feel good.
Is that your new Nissan Rogue?
Yeah, crazy story. So this morning, I'm at the Nissan Thrill of Summer sales event, taking a test drive. When Dave, the sales guy, is like, "You're gonna love this." He shows me the best-in-class fuel economy and lets me know it's recommended by Consumer Reports. When Dave says, "These cars are going fast," I knew I had to have that Rogue.
Nissan offers 6 vehicles starting under $30,000, like Rogue, with 2.9% financing for 60 months.
No charger?
It's a Mac. The battery lasts all day. See you next week.
Welcome back to In the Quad with Nick Eden. It is 14 after the hour, and you are locked into a brand new episode of In the Quad. Y'all, we're right in the middle of our HBCU Twitter weekly review. Also going to be changing the name of that. You might have seen the previews of it if you've seen my shirt or the shirt that any of the crew from HBCU Game Day has worn. So we're going to be talking about that, but that's towards the end. That's final thoughts. So yeah, we are back. We are into this crazy week. And now look, before I start on this, let me single myself back out. Before I start on this, because what I don't want is another text, DM, or email. Y'all have started going to my link tree and emailing me on this crap. Let me say this. Unless something official comes out from the SWAC, from UAPB, or from Jackson State on this matter, this is the absolute last day that you will hear me talk about this. Because this has brought out the butt hurt in everybody, no matter what side of the fence that you sit on. That being said, again, this is my very last time talking about this unless there is a conclusion of an official investigation. But because you all have been talking about it, this is the only reason that it's being covered. Now, that being said, on Tuesday, the young man who we've learned now is a former player at UAPB, who is allegedly the person who has been either, depending on what side you believe, either been accused of leaking the playbook, and let's not call it a playbook, y'all. It was videos on Huddle. Accused of leaking it, or had it hacked, or the password was given to somebody from Jackson State without his permission. Well, all of this is alleged. But for what this young man went on to Off Script Show to tell his side, and that he was a former player at UAPB who had the plays, the video format of the plays on his Huddle account. Allegedly, the password to this account was shared throughout the team and somehow, allegedly, made its way to Jackson State or some JSU players, who then called him and let him know that, hey, we've seen the plays, we got the playbook, ha 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 ha, whatever the case may be. Now, let me go ahead and say this. Again, all this is speculation. We've not heard anything from the SWAC. Now, they've taken swift action on this fight from Saturday. But they're moving at the speed of a snail if there is an actual investigation that's going on. I'm not privy to the information, so I'm not going to say that Scotty's sources are right or wrong, whatever the case may be. What I am saying is this young man came out to put his side of the story out. Now, if that's the case, I'm not being funny when I say this. It don't really matter. It didn't matter in the game. Jackson State dominated UAPB. It doesn't matter. Jackson State is the current SWAC East champion now. They'll be facing, and for what it's worth, you've already suspended 7 players, which I'll talk about. You've already suspended 7 players as a result of Saturday's fight. So the Soul Bowl, you're going to have 7 players out. All right, cool. This has no implications on the Celebration Bowl or on the SWAC championship. And this is no slight against UAPB. If this were a situation where UAPB was in the position that Southern is in, or the position that Grambling was in, where it was, I'm going to say Grambling, but Southern, Prairie View, where they were in contention and this game cost them the SWAC West Championship, investigate it all day long. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't investigate it simply because it's UAPB in their position in SWAC West right now. But what I'm saying is this is not serious. It didn't have championship implications. And, if there were a playbook to take, unfortunately, it would not be UAPB. If there were a playbook to take, it would be Southern. If it's Jackson State, if I'm a Jackson State player and I'm nefariously looking for a playbook, I'm looking for Southern's playbook. I'm looking for Bama State's playbook. I'm looking for FAMU's playbook. I'm even looking for Grambling's playbook because Grambling beat them. I'm not looking for UAPB. And again, I hate to sound like I'm sliding against UAPB, but that's the reality of the program. If my program were in the same position, I'll tell you this much. If it was like, oh, we're looking for a QB playbook from Bama State, I'd be like, for what? So can we move on? Is that okay? Because we are in a tizzy about this. If it comes out that they did indeed do it, I do think there needs to be something additional. I don't think it needs to be anything that affects the Celebration Bowl if Jackson State beats Southern and goes to the Celebration Bowl. But for all intents and purposes, the next game is Alcorn. So if they have not concluded this investigation by Wednesday or Thursday of this week, there's no reason to talk about this anymore. So let's just move on. I know we got some comments in let's see. PB being so bad is what kept them from being okay. It seems to be only a few people in tizzy. Sign Boom, I can't agree with you on that. It's been a lot of people talking about it, whether you talk about it in a joking manner. People that are upset about it, now I agree with you there. If it's only a few people, yeah. yeah, it's only a few people that are just like upset about it. And again, if this is the case, cool. If it's not the case, then let's move out. I don't, come on, man. PB being so bad, it's what kept them from being a West contender. PB already had pushed, had people coming out saying it. And again, like I said, that would be the last school that I'm going after. Probably beside. Well, I can't. I can't say. I was about to say, Valley would be the last school, but I don't know. We're gonna talk about that in a minute. I don't know, but yeah, it certainly wouldn't be at the top of my priority list if I was looking to do something nefarious like that. So I think it's time for us to just move on and just call it a day. It is what it is. Anyway, all right. So, look, Elon's been choking choking the bird down the drain. We've seen the implications that this has had on the election. And this week, Blue Sky Social, who I have never heard of before, but Blue Sky Social soared to the top of the social media charts on the Apple and Google Play Store. And that's because a lot of people are archiving. You've got new terms of service coming out with Twitter. We've seen other things come out with the platform, such as, now if you block somebody, they can still see everything you do. Like it's a lot. It really is a lot. And it's, we know that this was Elon Musk's play project to make sure that, he who shall not be named was reelected. And now people are serious about leaving. So you got a lot of people that are archiving their Twitter accounts. You got a lot of official folks. Now, this is the first time where a lot of official organizations and companies are like, look, we out. Like we're done. And so now, and HBCU Twitter has seemingly caught on to it, and they are making the way over to Blue Sky Social. Let me be honest with you. Do I think that this is going to last long? I don't know. We're still talking and interacting on Twitter. I would be a hypocrite if I told you that I did not have a vested interest in continuing to be on Twitter/X. But we'll see. I have created a Nick Eden Blue Sky Social. I probably checked that thing twice since I did it, but I do think that there were other platforms. I'm a little bit confused as to why this didn't make its way to Threads, or people didn't double down on Instagram or something like that. That is a good question, Ms. Mack. And let me say this. Is Blue Sky Black owned? Let me tell you why this is such an important question. I really appreciate you saying that. I was very, let me sing myself back out. I was very surprised that black folks did not make their way over to some black-owned platforms. If you're looking for the same functionality of Twitter, you got Spill. See, we were all, remember, top of the year, we were all talking about moving over to Spill. And it was the problem with Spill was it was invite only, and it kept crashing because it had this influx. And so people just stopped fooling with it. So, Sonic Boom, see, that's hilarious about Lee Peterson or O'Shea Duke Jackson. That is hilarious. I'm telling you right now, if y'all have never heard of O'Shea Duke Jackson, not to be confused with Ice Cube or O'Shea Jackson Jr. O'Shea Duke Jackson, yeah. But I'm surprised that we didn't go. If this is all about us taking control of our platforms and not being used by these platforms that are not for us, by us, why didn't we go over to Spill? Or why didn't we go over to Fanbase, which is Isaac Hayes the third, Ike Dirty, Isaac Hayes' son? Why didn't we go over to his platform? I'm wondering these things because now it seems like if we go over to Blue Sky Social, then let's say we do blow it up, right? Anybody that's on here and in iShot may remember when Clubhouse first started popping, it was black folks that got Clubhouse popping. And we brought it up to $1 billion valuation. And then we found out two things. The first thing we found out is that the rooms where they were having the money conversations, the investment conversations, it wasn't even showing up on our feeds. We were getting suggested the throat baby room and all that kind of crap, right? That's first. The second thing is that there was no intention in an investment, an actual investment in what we brought to the platform. How many times are we going to make a platform hot and then we get no benefit from it? So my thing is this. If it's a situation where we're going to move platforms, and again, I created a Blue Sky Social account because honestly, I'm at the point now where I have to be where the fan base is, right? But the other part of that is, why not go somewhere where our voices are valued, where we are valued as people? And I just think that it was, I just think it was, okay, good deal. Hold on, wait, real quick. First, let me go ahead and say, DLB 2010, I'm behind in this video, but right is right, wrong is wrong. That's true. That's the actual truth, which is why I said, because if you look at it, this investigation was concluded by the SWAC on the fight on Saturday by early Monday morning. If they're doing an investigation on this UAPB JSU thing, they've been dragging their feet. It's been 3 weeks at this point. So I agree with you that right is right and wrong is wrong. However, you are going to have to get to a point where somebody has to put something on the, something on the docket that says, hey, SWAC, what are y'all going to do about this? The SWAC needs to make a statement about this. Hey, these were just accusations. We didn't find anything, or we found something. This is what we're going to do. But the Soul Bowl is this weekend. It's the last SWAC game besides the SWAC championship. So if there's something that's going to happen, it needs to happen now. Stop BS about it. But in my personal opinion, I don't think that there's anything from it. Yeah. Fan base again. That's Ike Dirty. That's Isaac Hayes' son. Roland Martin has talked about that platform a lot. I've been on Fanbase since 2021. It is very similar. It's more similar to Instagram than it is to Twitter. But what I will say is, for people who are creators and anybody who's an aspiring creator, it is one of those platforms where you can monetize immediately. So, I think, yeah, I agree with you, Simon Moon. The next time we make something hot, we need to have some stock options. There has to be an event. We've made Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Snapchat. If y'all remember Vine, Clubhouse, Twitter, we've made all of these platforms hot, and they have made billions upon billions of dollars off of us, and nothing. Oh, we went viral. But half the time you go, I've gone viral at least 5 times in the last calendar year. And you've not had a chance to, the benefit that I see has come from a Black-owned platform with me being on HBCU Plus now. But yeah, I 100% agree. Blue Sky was made by the old Twitter creator. Okay. All right, good. So Jack sold it and then decided to come back. Yeah. Yeah, I again, my thing is this. It's pretty simple on this, y'all. I don't necessarily believe in making another platform hot, and we collectively cannot benefit from it. That's just the truth of it. That's the truth of it. So look, y'all, we're gonna take a commercial break. We'll be right back with the rest of HBCU Twitter Weekly. It's In the Quad with Nick Eden.
I feel good. When I push, I feel good. When I push. You better move. I feel good. When I pull, I feel good. When I push. When I push, I feel good. When I pull, I feel good. When I push. When I push, I feel good. When I pull, I feel good.
This is not just delivery. This is knowing even superheroes can use a sidekick. Walgreens.
From now on, it's all about us. Starting a family, buying a car, our first home.
They told you to open an account, then turned you away. They said, come back when you're ready. You said, we're ready now.
I know we're going to make it.
Hope makes it happen. Thousands of your neighbors, many who never had a bank account before, improved their lives with Hope Credit Union. You can too. Brighter futures begin with hope.
Is that your new Nissan Rogue?
Yeah, crazy story. So this morning, I'm at the Nissan Thrill of Summer sales event, taking a test drive. When Dave, the sales guy, is like, you're gonna love this. He shows me the best-in-class fuel economy and lets me know it's recommended by Consumer Reports. When Dave says, these cars are going fast, I knew I had to have that Rogue.
Nissan offers 6 vehicles starting under $30,000, like Rogue with 2.9% financing for 60 months.
Amazon fall favorites are here. Save on fashion, home, beauty, and more. Shop Amazon fall favorites now.
Welcome back to In the Quad with Nick Eden. Y'all, we are right in the middle of talking about HBCU Twitter Weekly. And those first 3 days have been something serious. Those first 4 days have been something serious. Let's get right into Thursday. And on Thursday, this is the thing that really ticks me off here. On Thursday, Thursday, and then HBCU Sports reported on Friday. Recent report paints Tennessee State in dire financial straits, which state officials revealed that the university is allegedly out of money and should considering laying off employees and selling the Nashville-based campus. So let me tell you the problem that I have with this. Now, the Biden administration came out earlier this year with their report about the schools that have been underfunded, which we've known for years. Tennessee State is the only public HBCU in the state of Tennessee, similar to Florida A&M in Florida. The state of Tennessee owes Tennessee State $2.1 billion. So how on God's green earth are the people who owe money going to say, because y'all ain't got no money, you just need to close it and sell it off? Now, let's think about it from this standpoint. You gutted out the board of trustees. You gutted out the board of trustees. You installed a brand new board, all from the governor, and you said, "Oh well, they're TSU alums. Dr. Glover is no longer there." This didn't start until Dr. Glover and her administration started asking about the money that Tennessee owed. And so now they're saying, oh, y'all ain't got no money. Y'all need to lay off employees and close the campus. What's going on, Jay? Y'all need to exactly give TSU the money they're owed. There's just no way around it. And look, we've seen this. We saw it in Mississippi. We've seen it in Alabama, where we've had to go through and literally sue to get some of the money that we're owed. Just some of it. I agree. What they're trying to do, in my opinion, they are trying to turn Tennessee State into the University of Tennessee at Nashville. That is what they want to do. That's my personal opinion. And they see blood in the water. And the reality is, unfortunately, we no longer have the backing of an administration on Capitol Hill that can fight for that. Now, you want to see, and here's the thing, it's not my business to tell you who to vote for or who you should support as president of the United States. What I am talking is facts. And the fact of the matter is, the guy that's coming back into the office initially zeroed out funding for HBCUs, and it was Congresswoman Alma Adams who said, no, we're going to get this back. And she rallied a bipartisan effort to not only reinstall the funding for HBCUs, but to increase it. And once it passed, then he signed it. There's no telling what's going to happen this next time around. And when you've got possibly federal government not advocating for you and the state government not trying to give up that $2.1 billion, my concern is now, will Tennessee State be in existence in 4 years? That's my concern. That is my concern. Ms. Mack, I live in Gulfport. I grew up in Mississippi. I'm from Gulfport. I get it. I've seen them try time and time again. Listen, you get no argument out of me on this. You get no argument, and this is why actual research is important, not just trust me, bro, or I heard it on Facebook. So I would encourage everybody to head to hbcusports.com and check out the full article. Listen, if y'all have noticed over the last couple of weeks, I've stopped putting even though I don't need it. I've stopped putting up my links for Venmo and PayPal and Zelle. That money needs to go to the school. But I'm afraid at this point, because you got a board of trustees that's in control of it, and anybody that's from Mississippi, and you understand what it's like. Essentially, you got an IHL. That's neither here nor there. I'm concerned for Tennessee State. I have a niece at Tennessee State. I've got a lot of family ties at Tennessee State. And I'm really concerned about what that's going to look like, what that's going to look like going forward. So, and then Friday. So Friday started the melee of all this stuff, man. Look, we had fights in the CIAA. We had fights in the SWAC. But this week's set of fights was very clearly kicked off Friday. When Howard and NCCU engaged in a post-game brawl. And I'm going to talk about the whole brawl thing and everything that happened this weekend in just a little bit. But I did want to, especially when you consider there were a lot of implications coming out of this. The first is that this game really was like just a grudge match. It had no championship implications because South Carolina State barreled through the MEAC this year. They did. So it's not like last year when Howard was put a 50 piece on NCCU to get back from the year before or to secure their spot going to the Celebration Bowl. Now you can forget that. You can forget that. That was gone. NCCU, they didn't have a prayer after Sonic Boom. I'm gonna talk about that in a second. You didn't have a prayer of either one of these schools winning the championships. There's no more co-champions in the MEAC for football, and neither one of them going. So this was just an all-out brawl between two schools that really just don't really like each other. Now, what I will say is, when we talk about response time, that happened Friday. We still haven't heard anything from the MEAC. We've already seen the conclusion and more implications that coming out of the SWAC melee on Saturday. So for all that whole, the SWAC is this, SWAC is that, MEAC folks, lay to death. But let's be real. Y'all kind of got to own that. Y'all got to own that. And then Saturday. So Saturday, and let's be honest, that's what everybody's here for. Saturday, you saw a lot of championship implications. The first thing, it was a championship weekend. Shout out to Miles College for securing the SIAC championship. They absolutely dominated. My Blark Atlanta Pyru Panthers. It's all good. I'm still riding for my Pyru Panthers. Shout out to Coach Teddy Keaton, who's done a phenomenal job at Clark Atlanta. Phenomenal. Shout out to Virginia Union. Virginia Union, hey, CIAA champions. They're conference champs. Shout out to them. And I will go a step further. I want to shout out both Miles and Virginia Union. Y'all, they're in the D2 playoffs, both of them. And on top of that, Miles actually has a home game. So I want to shout them out. I want to say great job to both programs. You all did phenomenal. I'll be honest with you. From an overall standpoint, the coaching in Division II HBCU football is far better than Division I. You got your outliers. I think there are some great things that TC Taylor did. Obviously, I think some great things that Chennis Berry did. I think there's some great things Trey Oliver did, Terrence Graves. And I think for a lot of other teams, given their circumstances, they did what they could. And look, people will say I'm biased. I'm absolutely biased. For Alabama State to still be second in the SWAC East-West, when after the Orange Blossom Classic, everybody said our season was done. Play call on the side, I think that's a testament to keeping the program going in the midst of all of that. But in an overall sense, when you get to talking about people like Teddy Keaton, Sean Gibbs, when you get to talking about just the myriad of people, Sam Shade, in the SIAC and CIAA, Coach Rome, and at Florida Memorial, NAIA team, it was absolutely better overall. D2 football coaching has been better in the HBCU realm than D1. So that's neither here nor there. Good luck. I will be following the Division II playoffs. This has been a great Division II year, and I'm looking forward to see how far they can go with it. They got some obstacles ahead of them, but you know, shout out to South Carolina State for clinching the MEAC championship. MEAC Mike, I know you in the chat. I know you left after the first quarter, and I feel for you, brother. That 54-7. Whew. I ain't seen nothing like that since 59-3. And then over in the SWAC, shout out to Jackson State. Shout out to the Tigers for clinching the SWAC East Championship. And then shout out to Southern University, who everybody counted out for pulling off the SWAC West Championship. We will see that game. We will see the Boombox Classic Part 2 in just a couple of weeks. But let me say this. Out of all the trophies that were won, this past weekend, I don't think any trophy trumps the I Know You Effing Lying trophy. Hey, listen, if you are a Rattler and you watching this right now, just hit mute, put it to the side, because I'm sorry. Whew. The Delta Devils went to Tallahassee, Florida with no band and no wins. And they ended, if it wasn't number one, it was number two. But one of, if not the longest streaks, home winning streaks in FCS football. I don't think anybody expected this. I hear what you're saying. Hold on, let me go ahead and pull it up now. Cause see, here's the deal. Here's the deal. I'm not going to put up all. Look here. Sign book. Let me tell you something. There's a difference between saying it's going to happen and going factually that it's going to happen and hoping it's going to happen. There was a vested interest in every team beating FAMU that they faced for Jackson State this year. Let's stop the cap. Let's stop the cap. There was a vested interest from Jackson State and for Alabama State too. So you hope that it's the same thing I said about Zoe. Love Zoe to death. Love Zoe to death. But Zoe had everybody beating FAMU this year except Bama State. Everybody that it will be a vested interest for Jackson State. So you can hope, absolutely. Hope, sure. But anyway. FAMU, I know y'all got some things y'all got to take care of internally. I know the thing last week was D Rich was out, you know. So it was like, oh, D Rich was out. That's why PV won. D Rich was back this week. And it was at home. It was in that hospital. Everything about FAMU at a home game that y'all said is the advantages and why y'all had the longer streak. Valley just said. And the crazy thing about it is Valley didn't score 1 point in the second half of the game. That's the crazy part. They did not score one single point in the second half of the game. And they were still able to pull off this. And now, I got to be honest. When it comes to the rest of the schedule for the year, I don't know, FAMU. I don't wish any ill will on it. And I want all of those young, it's two things. I want all those young men to, one, be healthy and at their best. But then I also want their morale up because I know their morale is real down right now. And that's the screwed up part about this. That is the part that I wish were not the case. But I will say that you've got, who do they have next? I know they're, they got the Florida Classic this week. So FAMU got Bethune-Cookman, and if there was ever a time for Bethune-Cookman to make the statement, it's this Saturday. If there were ever a time. And then I'll say this much. The next week, they got Alabama A&M. Whereas, and don't forget, that game was pushed to the end of the year because of the storm earlier in the year. Now, earlier in the year, you wouldn't have told me, there wouldn't have been a chance in my mind that Alabama A&M was going to beat FAMU. I don't know now. I ain't gonna hold you. For those young men on that field, let me just say this. I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna go to my last commercial break. I know that you don't reportedly have confidence in your coaching staff right now. But especially for those players who are seniors, man, go out there and play your hearts out. Don't just dial it in. Don't just dial it in. One thing that Zoe said that, you know, as much as Zoe and I disagree about football, and I didn't forget about our bet, Zoe. I ain't forget about our bet. All the way back at the Southern game. I ain't forget about our bet. But one thing that Zoe said that I 100% agree with was he said, he was like, when FAMU comes to the vet, I want them to still be undefeated in conference play because I want them at their best and I want us to be the ones to do it. Listen, I don't relish in anybody getting injured. Even though there were a lot of people who relished in Andrew Body getting injured. That's true. There were a lot. I don't relish in anybody getting injured. I want FAMU at their best. No, I did not pick SU. I said that JSU was going to win. I said that JSU was going to win the game, but the bet that Zoe and I had was by how much JSU was going to win the game. And I won that bet. So, Zoe, I ain't forgot about you, bro. I don't relish in anybody being injured. I want teams at their absolute best. But yeah, this is going to be something serious. Look, y'all, we are going into our last commercial break. When we come back, I'm going to give my final thoughts about the fight and what we need to do moving forward. It's in the quad with Nick Eden.
From now on, it's all about us. Starting a family, buying a car, our first home.
They told you to open an account, then turned you away. They said, come back when you're ready. You said, we're ready now.
I know we're going to make it.
Hope makes it happen. Thousands of your neighbors, many who never had a bank account before, improved their lives with Hope Credit Union. You can too. Brighter futures begin with hope.
When I push, I feel good. When I push, I feel good. When I push. You better move. I feel good. When I pull, I feel good. When I push. When I push, I feel good. When I pull, I feel good. When I When I push, I feel good. When I pull, I feel good.
This is not just delivery. This is knowing even superheroes can use a sidekick. Walgreens.
Amazon fall favorites are here. Save on fashion, home, beauty, and more. Shop Amazon fall favorites now.
Hey, sweet new gear. It's like Best Buy hooked you guys up.
Pretty sick, right?
What is that?
That's our traveling trophy. Oh, that's what's up, man.
Ah, a goat for the goats. It's these pro level setups.
Last year's trophy.
Not a goat.
Nope.
What if you could get all the latest and greatest gaming gear from one place?
Welcome back to In the Quad with Nick Eden. It is 55 after the hour. I'm going to make this short and sweet. I'm making it real short and sweet. Listen, I got to Alabama State in August of 1998. And for the past 26 years of my life, I have lived and breathed this thing we call SWAC. What I have seen in that time, as someone who was in the band, someone who was in the choir, someone who attended the game just as a regular student, there have been fights. Everybody has been guilty of it, being the aggressor, retaliating, whatever the case may be. Everybody has been guilty of it at one point or another. That does not justify it at all. I talked last week about those of us, the podcasters in this HBCU media space, and the advertisers who don't want to deal with us, not my advertisers. My advertisers like running their commercials. But the advertisers who don't want to deal with us and look for any reason not to do business with HBCUs or Black folks at all, we cannot keep giving them reasons to do so. The fights between Howard and CCU, the fights between Bama State and Jackson State, are completely unnecessary. Completely unnecessary. Let me say this, though. I don't want anybody playing victims. Anybody. Jackson State was just as much the aggressor on the field as Alabama State. This tension has been boiling over for years. But Alabama State, let me say this, and I love my alma mater. I love my alma mater. And anybody who knows me knows how much I love Alabama State. You fight on the field during the game. And when I say fight, that means take the ball and shove it down their throats during the game. To the victor goes the spoils. When Jackson State, when it hit 0 on that clock, and Jackson State is the winner, that's it. That's it. You win some, you lose some. You don't react like that. This emotion, and Sonic Boom is right. They were fighting during the game. When I say fight during the game, I'm talking about fight with the plays, fight with yardage, fight with field goals, fight with touchdowns. That's the fight I'm talking about. All that extra mess, because they're looking. If they haven't started already, in just a couple of months, they start renegotiating media rights deal with that 4-letter network that everybody loves. They're looking, and they're looking for any reason. I'm telling you. So what I'm saying is, at a certain point, young men on that field who love this game that we all watch, enjoy, and appreciate them putting their bodies on the line for, you got to make a choice as an adult, as a man, to say, this can't go like this anymore. I've seen the fights. I ain't gonna act like I ain't been a part of it. Hell, the Choir, I was talking about it on Twitter. The Choir got into a fight with Jackson State and Miles in the same year. And 21-year-old Rowdy Nick was ready for it. 44-year-old Nick is like, this is stupid. There's much more on the line. And now we got a situation where 7 players from JSU are suspended. 9 players from Alabama State are suspended for this next week. And shout out to Dr. Cable, because I agree with him on this. Dr. Cable went a step further. 3 of the 9 players on ASU's side that were suspended for the game next week have been suspended for the remainder of the season. I don't know what TC is going to do or what AD Robinson is going to do on his end in terms of any further accountability. They may feel like that was just right, but let me say, both sides were wrong. And both sides need to act like adults. And I am sick and tired of us getting so far ahead because the perception, look, they're not going to look at Clemson the same way. They're not going to look at North Dakota State the same way. They're not going to look at Alabama or Ohio or Georgia or Texas the same way as they look at our HBCUs. We've got so much on the line at such a crucial time. And what you don't want is for them to speak, see, that's why we ain't giving them niggas no money anyway. So I'm begging you, take this weekend. You need to put it up on a board somewhere. And before you go out on the game, you need to reference that board. Because we cannot continue to have these types of things happening between grown men. It impacts us in more ways than one. It's not just about media. Because for the people who oppose us, I keep telling folks, when it comes to and let's just call it what it is. When it comes to black men in America in particular, the same traits that you display on Saturday night, speed, strength, aggression, the same traits that they love on Saturday night will get you killed Sunday through Friday. That's the truth. There's something bigger here at stake. Yes, you are athletes. You are student athletes. Use the intellect that got you to college. Use the intellect that got you on the D2 and D1 level and make better decisions. That's all I got, y'all. Listen, tune in tomorrow. We'll be back to our regular format. If you all want to get your questions or comments in for Fam Topics tomorrow, head over to my socials at Nick Eden on Twitter, at Nick Eden on Instagram. Click the link tree in the bio. Leave your comments if it's appropriate. I will read it. I'm telling you right now, do not ask me anything else about the situation between Scotty and Timon. I've been getting that a lot. Don't ask me about it again. I told you I wasn't going to talk about it anymore. And quite frankly, I'm sick of y'all asking me that. So any other topics for Fam Topics, please click the link tree in the bio. And I will see you all same time, same place. Take care.